What is going on, everybody? It is Monday. It is 12 o'clock. It is time for Car Confessions. Matt Johnson, MattJohnsonSells.com, located here in Emporia, Kansas. Come to you each and every week, fresh off the weekend, to do some type of topic related to buying, selling, some type of tip, or an interview with an entrepreneur. See what motivates, what drives them, opposed to somebody that just punches a clock every day. This week, I'm going to do things a little bit different. October has a few different holidays in it. As we all know, it's Halloween. Some of us know that it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Others know that it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. But this month is also National Book Month. And this is something that I have hated my entire life, with the exception of about the last 2 to 3 years. Reading is not one of my favorite pastimes. It has never been something I've enjoyed, looked forward to, or wanted to do. But being in the business world and on the business side, your mindset has to change and you have to adapt, much like I did in the Army. You have to adapt and overcome and adjust on the fly. And business is no different. You have to be able to do that, and you have to, be willing to accept that and look for that to happen. And I got my first glimpse of this when I was in the Army with my squad leader. He required us to read a minimum of 1 book per month and give him like a 2 or 3 minute oral presentation breakdown of the book. So he would know that we read it and not just something over the back cover, not just reading the back cover. And I hated this. I hated him for this, because I didn't understand it. It didn't make any sense. How was reading a book going to help me with my military career? And he explained to me that every time you read, it creates a wrinkle in your brain, fires one of your neurons, and stimulates your brain. And that's part of learning, adapting, and interpreting. And I told him, I said, that doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. I have no desire to read. And that's when he told me, you absolutely need to, because he said, when I get out of the Army, he said, you're going to see me. I'm going to be on Wall Street. I'm going to be a stockbroker. And I'm going to be making more money than anybody in my family has ever seen in their life. And damn it, he got out. He sent me a picture a few years ago of his office overlooking Wall Street, downtown New York. It's just crazy. And he's been everywhere. He's been pictured in Knicks games, in some high-end charity events. He is a top donor for military veterans, and it all started with reading books. All these years later, going on 15 years now, all these years later, I finally understand what he was saying and what he was trying to tell me and the rest of us all those years ago. So thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it. I wish it would have kicked in sooner than 15 years. But it isn't just me. It's other Americans that just don't enjoy reading, don't like reading. They want to go home. They don't want to unwind with a book. They want to unwind watching TV. So whatever show's on, whether it's football, baseball, whatever sport is on during that season, or whatever show was on TV. It's been about 2 years, 3 years. So I actually didn't realize this until just now. So you're getting a bonus here. When my wife and I got rid of cable, and we only have Netflix now, is the time that my reading really picked up. So I mean, that just hit me as I'm doing this video right now. So never thought about that before. So there you go. I mean, my reading picked up. I got rid of cable, and I will be the first to admit I've slumped a little bit, because I used to be reading at least 2 books a month. I've kind of slacked off here over the past couple months, and I'm down to about 1. So I've really got to hold myself accountable to pick that back up and get that back where it needs to be. So just to give you an idea, give you some stats here. The average American worker reads about 4 books per year. The average American CEO reads about 60 books per year. So to put that in dollar terms, so people can understand, I checked a couple different sources, as I always do. I never go with the first one I see or the last one that I come across. The average American worker makes $37,000 per year. Okay? $37,000 per year. The average CEO of a company here in America makes $12.4 million a year. Think about that. Average worker reads 4 books per year, $37,000 per year income. Average CEO reads 60 books per year, average income $12.4 million. Million. That's staggering. That's crazy, the difference. And a lot of people, a lot of workers think that CEOs are overpaid for whatever their industry is. I'm not here to debate that. I'm just here to bring you some facts and some numbers that I found. There's a reason they're in the CEO position. They've worked hard. They've busted their ass. You don't see them out in the club Friday, Saturday night. They're at home educating. And this is kind of a cliche now, but I've heard people say, how many Ferrari commercials do you see? You don't, because the people that can afford those don't watch TV. And these numbers right here that I just gave you prove that fact right there. And just to give you another staggering fact that blew me away. The average reader in the U.S. reads 5.4 hours per week. Okay? Average reader, 5.4 hours per week. In North Korea, the average reader reads 3 hours per week. So we are, in the U.S., where we have the most independence and the most freedom of anybody in the world, we read almost 2.5 hours more per week than one of the most strict and dictated countries in the world. Think about that for a minute. And I found that verified, couple different sources, looking through yesterday and today as well. And I was speechless after that. I had no answer. I looked at it again, double checked it, couldn't believe it. But we have access to anything we could possibly want here in the U.S., and we read less than 5.5 hours per week on average, compared to North Korea, of all places, that is at the very bottom of the list at 3 hours per week. So I ask you, I beg you, pick up a book this month. Start with one book a month. Then, work up to 2 books a month. Then maybe you'll work up to 1 book a week. Who knows? But the power of education, self-awareness, and just that accountability and the discipline to do this, you can go anywhere. You can make anything happen. And that, I'm not saying that's going to take you to a CEO salary of $12 million per year. Let's be real. But will it take you from 37 to 39, 45, 50? It's possible. And it's possible to still punch that clock, but do something else on the side. Have that discipline, have that awareness to, okay, I've got this job under control. This job is my main source of income. I need a second source of income that I can create, get a side hustle going on. And once I get that second stream, then maybe a third stream, fourth stream, whatever it is, whatever that you're after, whatever you want. It's possible. It starts by just picking up a book and just reading and just finding that one nugget in that book that you can take and turn into thousands of dollars, hopefully hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it all just starts from spending $15, $25 on a book, because you don't pay $25 for a book because it's worth $25. You pay for it because it's got that $1 million idea or that $1 million sentence that just grabs you and drives you and makes you realize, I can do this. I can make this happen. I can do whatever I want. It says right here. Here's my idea. I just got to take it, run with it, figure out how to monetize it. So that is this week of Car Confessions. And I also had my buddy's wife comment that when I did an interview with him, it's called Car Confessions, and neither one of us confessed anything. So I need to figure out how to put that aspect in this. So my confession for this episode, you kind of heard it before. I never liked to read. Was never something I wanted to do, even in college, which wasn't the best time for me. I hated to read. Now I read at least one book a month. I've slipped up. It was it about 2? So I mean, I'm a reader. You wouldn't think of it. People don't see me as a reader. So just kind of keep this between us, that I read books and educate myself. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, share this out, and please leave me a review in iTunes. That way I know what I'm doing affects people and is being a benefit to everybody. Any type of comments that you have, I would love to hear from y'all. Love to see your feedback and what you would like to see if I haven't talked about something that you're interested in. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, Matt Johnson Sells. That's SELLS. Or you can check out my website, mattjohnsonsells.com, and email me through there. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next week. Be good.